Hi, I'm Scott of ZealZaddy, and I'm here with Greg Lysander, the creator of a couple of amazing games that we're going to talk about right now. How is Gen Con going for you?
Gen Con is good. Gen Con is weird. It's a business vacation.
In mystery business,
Yes.
there's no combat.
There's no combat.
Explain the idea behind no combat in an RPG.
It's based off of the Saturday morning mystery cartoons, and they don't have violence. This is not that game. I sort of went with, what if we took Call of Cthulhu but made it a lot more light and fun, and not so everybody dies at the end. And so I started there and said, okay, how can I translate some of these ideas into a Saturday morning thing? The main mechanic is that the monster comes, you have to run away, so it's the chase. If you get caught, you mark off a near miss. If you have 3 near misses, you're captured and have to be rescued.
Did you grow up watching Saturday morning cartoons like that? Or,
Yep. Oh yeah.
Because I didn't know. I mean, you're kind of telling your age by saying it.
Look,
Me too.
I'm not ashamed that I am 53 years old. I've been doing this for a long time.
So how are characters created? What's the mechanic? How long does it take?
So there's a free-form way or sort of the pre-gen way. There are 5 archetypes: athletic, intelligent, social, coward, and then the mystery creature. And they all have different starting stat levels, and then you have 100 points to lower. So the thing that I did with that game to sort of take away the stress of having to look at, I have to reference this table, I have to reference this table. The stats are the number you have to beat to succeed. So if your brawn is at 50 and you roll a D100, you have to get over the 50.
One thing I noticed when I watched some of the actual plays that you were on was it was very fast.
Yes.
I love that for episodic types of content especially. Is there a way to play a campaign of this?
Yeah.
Or is it just episodic?
Nope. So I mean, I also looked at Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, which I really love that series. It's episodic, but they have an overarching mystery, so I included rules for that. I mean, there's XP, you will get better, you will lower your difficulties, but I wanted to make sure that it worked in both, because we know that most games that aren't huge fantasy campaigns are one-shots.
Is there a way of playing? I mean, everyone who loves those cartoons loves Scooby-Doo and Captain Caveman and Josie of Josie and the Pussycats, but
Speed Buggy,
the
Funky Phantom.
Right. So how do you play the non-human-y kinds of things? Is that an archetype in there?
Yeah, you can be whatever. When I was playtesting it, we had a talking deck of cards. Like,
awesome.
You can be anything.
Okay.
And the thing is like, the cartoons never answer, how do people know that these things are talking?
Right.
And I don't either.
Right.
Because who cares?
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
why is a giant shark walking around talking? I don't know. It just is. Go with it. It's a cartoon.
Matt Colville said that the D100 system, the incremental numbers are negligible to the feel of a character. They don't feel an additional +1 in a full D100 range.
Every game system is based off of percentages. A D20 is just grouped percentages. Every one is a group of 5. So when you get a +5, it's a 5% chance better. A D100 system is the same thing. Yeah, a 1 means it's 1% better. It is still 1% better. To say like, well, a D20 system, because a +1 gives you a +5%, fine. I give a +5%. It comes out to be exactly the same thing. A D100 system just pulls the shade away and says, this is just a percentage. I also, to sort of compensate for bad luck, that's why the luck system is there. You can spend your luck to increase your die roll to get over the 1 or 2 that you're missing. And that's the benefit of the coward. The coward has more luck and can alter their die roll more. But to say like, oh, pure percentages is worse because it doesn't mean anything. It's like, no, you're just used to 5% increments instead of 1% increments.
Yeah. Are you ready to talk about Glitterhearts now?
Yeah, Glitterhearts is my big one.
Let's go to Glitterhearts. This is the one that is all over inside now. I've seen people with boxes, so I know it's moving some. I'm happy to see that.
You can find it on the floor. Go buy my games at Japanime Games. They're my physical publisher.
For those who don't know, what is Glitterhearts?
Glitterhearts is a magical transforming heroes game. I use Powered by the Apocalypse system, which is pretty famous. You can play Sailor Moon, Power Rangers, Captain Planet, Steven Universe. Anything where you are a normal person and transform into something else, that's what I captured with Glitterheart. So what you do is you pick your everyday identity, who you are day to day, and then you pick your magical archetype, so who you transform into, and then your mystical connection, what you draw from, what power you draw from. And the reason why I did that is because if you look at Sailor Moon in a lot of hero girl campaigns, they're all fighters, they're all warriors.
Right.
So I wanted to say you could make the warrior archetype, but the other things would make you feel completely different. And then as a group, you all decide what is the drawback for your transformation.
When you say in the game that, or in the material you put out, you have 150 moves to choose from.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
There are 5 archetypes to be magics, and there are 7 moves that you get to pick. And then every everyday persona has 3 moves, and there are 20 everyday personas, and then every mystical connection, which there are 19, also have 3 moves. So overall, and as you build your character, all the moves are available to you as you grow. But when you're picking them, you're only going to pick 1 from each time. But in the game of just customizable moves that are attached to classes and yourself, all of those add up together are 150 moves. So even if you pick the same options, you will still look very different from the person that did those same things next to you. And I really want to do that so that you can both be like, we both want to be lightning-based characters. Cool. Then pick 2 different moves from that list, and you will behave differently. So it's very, very, very customizable. Make what you want. Be who you want to be.
When you built on Powered by the Apocalypse.
Yep.
Was there a reason for that?
It was my first ever game that I was going to make and publish, and I didn't want to start over from scratch. I didn't want to write 150 moves and also have to do an entire game base from zero.
Yeah.
And Powered by the Apocalypse is very narrative free, so it felt like there was a lot more freedom to allow people to exist in the world without me telling them how to exist in the world.
Yeah.
By using the system. And so I went to the creators of Powered by the Apocalypse and said, can I use it? And I said, sure. And so I just took that formula and I broke a bunch of things that I didn't like and fixed it to the way I did like it. Role-playing games are supposed to be collaborations. We're telling a story together, but almost no game system has a way to help each other that's meaningful. So the very first thing I did and the very first thing I wrote for Glitterhearts is the most important rule is how to help each other, and that is probably the most meaningful thing you can do in that game. And that was my entire goal.
You come from what I know, originally from the D&D space, like everybody else.
Everybody else.
But now you make, most of your games are wholesome or even cozy games.
Mm-hmm. I don't need that audience. There are a lot of audiences that don't have games for them. If you want to play D&D, play it. It's fun. I've played it for 30 some odd years now.
Right.
I don't need to make that game. Much like how I wanted Glitterhearts to feel like everybody saw themselves in it, it's a game that everybody of all ages can play. Like, there's a ton of people who are like, D&D is so complicated for school kids, and we have this after-school program. This is so easy, and they get to make choices, and they feel really empowered. Like, D&D is a class system. You pick a class and you're stuck in that silo. And I'm like, I don't like that. Just make what you want. Be who you want. And so I really designed both Mystery Business and Glitterhearts and the game that I'm playtesting now to be like, build who you are.
It sounds like for that age group, it will be very relatable because they all love anime and Sailor Moon and all that. So I love that. So what is next for you?
Well, I am making and playtesting here. I playtested it last night. I'm making a Pokemon-style RPG because that is my second biggest fandom. Star Wars is my first. Pokemon is my second. So I've made my own version of that because also I don't like any of the Pokemon games that exist out there. So I'm like, I'll just make my own, like I always do. I don't want to kickstart again, so I might just work with my publisher. This is in their wheelhouse.
All right. Well, it was really great meeting with you.
Wonderful meeting you.
And finding a few minutes in the middle of Gen Con. Thank you for coming by. Where can they find you and buy your product?
So my website is Leatherman Games. You can find Glitterhearts on DriveThruRPG, itch.io. You can get the PDF copies. Physical copies are sold through Japanime Games. Your local game store might finally have them back in stock because it was out for a very long time. Mystery Business, it's been funded, so I'm finishing that up. I should have that out January 2024.
Thank you.